from JorRaptor will appear.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more curious about your songs. They're actually really good.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome everyone to the Assassin's Cast, the weekly Assassin's Creed show that we do here on YouTube. JorRaptor. Still need to figure out the audio stuff, but we've been very busy with all this stuff. But I'm sure in July it will be quiet. Now, right now, it's Summer Game Fest. The Assassin's Creed gameplay reveal is very, very close. And I'm once again joined by the man, the Frankie boy. Frankie man, Frankie boy. Also known for his
What's
German name, Fragnard. Hello, man.
Yes.
How have you been? You were gone last week. Of course, Joyce stepped in. Did you? And you were on a holiday, right? Did you enjoy?
Yeah, I was on holiday on the north coast of Germany, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream with Joyce, and you had a nice chat about Codename Shadows, as I said before. It's of course Shadows right now. I'm still not used to the name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I also saw you got this awesome AC package.
Yeah,
And,
did you not get it?
Yeah, I got it as well. I just pointed it at the camera. You might have looked at the chat, right?
Yeah. No, I saw it. Cool. And
Yeah.
did you stream it as well? I totally missed that.
No, I didn't stream it.
Oh, okay.
I just made a video about it, and yeah, I actually
How
didn't.
long did it take you to open?
To be honest, I got a cheat sheet, so not too long.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. I first thought there was something missing, so but it wasn't missing at all. It was below
No. Yeah. Okay.
the bloodstained
It's kind of like
documents.
the IKEA furniture. You're like, I'm missing something, but it's just you. It's in the end, it's just
It's
you.
always you, yeah.
Yeah.
Always.
The lock is
Yeah.
wonderful, isn't it? Says Arb Knight, and that's true.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
the
looks
lock is
great,
great.
unlocked. But we can put it back and then actually use it again. But it took me too long.
It's super
so,
complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kinda
I was almost so frustrated. I said, I'm gonna trash it. And just
I
screw it
had
up.
a hammer next to me.
Yeah.
Next to me and was ready to.
Makes sense.
Dennis, who was also on stream, was like, "No, we're gonna do it the legit way," and it was kind of fun to do that.
It
For
was.
the people who don't know what we're talking about, there's a stream on the channel where Dennis and I open it and kind of solve riddles. To in the end, let's start with that because in this episode, we kind of want to ask you what you would ask the Assassin's Creed Shadows developers because, as you might know, I'll be going to LA to Ubisoft Forward. I can't really say much more, but I'm sure there will be developers there, and I'm sure I will bump into them and be able to ask some questions. So, who knows? If you come up with an interesting question, I will at least put it in my doc if I have the time. And and am able to interview developers. I will, of course, make sure to answer them, the ones that I think are interesting as well. So that's kind of the idea here. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Really appreciate everyone being here. Frankie White, saw you already. Skata, good to see you as well. Odin, Arrow, and Unknown, everyone else. Vivek, good to see. What's the replacement for Reda for earning outfits? Like, that's one of my number one questions I'm gonna ask, but I don't know they will talk about it yet. That seems more like a post-launch sort of question, maybe just before release when they release their post-launch trailer. But I first want to look at the new concept art that we, of course,
That we got from the bot when solving the riddle.
Yeah, that's right. So I can
Let me quickly open them as well.
Here as well. Yeah.
It's
Oh yeah, you're not.
downloads.
You don't see them, of course, on my screen.
But yeah, just tell me which document you're opening, and I will match
let's
that.
start with the one that I saw most people talk about, the Kyoto one.
So the
one with the snowy city.
the snowy city. Yep. I like that a lot because of the aesthetics, of course, with the snow. I love snow. You can see the step of Naui on the roof, which is quite nice. So there might be gods like tracking you down from your steps. Do you think that will be a feature?
What do you mean?
Those steps in the snow, you can see them. And
Oh
guards
yeah.
might be able to track you this way. Do you think
Oh
that
yeah,
will
yeah.
happen?
That's actually I think one of the things they talked about, and that was also like when it's raining, your footsteps will actually disappear. So then yeah, you can make use of that in a clever way. But I do think that would be cool if they were actually following your steps, and that would be a downside from playing during winter, of course. If you don't know, the game will of course have seasons. So yeah, basically like Assassin's Creed 3 had as well. But yeah, they will. Like as you continue with the main story, seasons will change, but this time it will also have a huge impact on the gameplay. In the concept art, we also see these ice spikes here on the.
And they might kill you.
I mean, I'm not sure if they're gonna kill us or do damage, but they will create sound. So when you climb, they will of course drop, and that will create a sound. So during summer, these spikes won't be there. So then it will be you can like climb this roof without the guards noticing. I noticed like a lot of patrols with like huge groups in the concept art. We saw that really a lot in the different pieces. So instead of probably having just a small, I mean, we saw that in Valhalla, of course, as well. Like these, like the groups with like 4 enemies. But it seems like they will be, there will be even larger
ones.
Yeah,
It might be a story mission though, or something.
I mean, we
but
saw
got
it like
this night. Yeah.
If we like open up the one in the woods, you basically see just another one of those, right? Here, just another patrol in the woods on the bridge.
With a destroyed bridge, with a body impaled by wood, and the patrol running over or walking over the bridge. Yeah, I think those artworks, they are incredible. What's your general thought of those? Do you like them?
Yeah, no, I thought it was overall a really cool surprise, or like a fun reward to. I was afraid during the sort of whole package thing that we were doing that the rewards would not be really great, and they used concept art during the shared concept art that we've already seen. So I was worried, is it gonna be new stuff? But it did not disappoint. With my favorite being the Takeda Castle. Looking over, that I also use for the thumbnail.
Beautiful, and we have a whole army like approaching. As you can see, that artwork is just incredible. That view is breathtaking, and I would love to see it in real life. But
that would be crazy.
Of course, that's impossible. But
no, I mean, in the game, I hope it looks. I mean, the concept art for Assassin's Creed games always looks great. So that's kind of my caveat. Like, they always, like, if you look at Odyssey, if you look at Origins, like, these artists at Ubisoft are very, very talented. So, obviously, it always looks great. But it's, like, they are creating the game based on this art. So, I do think this looks awesome. It has a lot of mystery. It shows a lot of, like, mountainy terrain, very large settlements on top of these buildings. Just the whole Assassin's Creed vibe with hooded characters. I think a
lot of depth to the picture as well. And I mean, it sets the mood, and it sets it right, in my opinion. You can clearly see those different types of seasons, etc., from the artworks. And if it's almost there, I think it will be great atmospherically.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I was hoping for a little teaser, like see you at E3 with Assassin's Creed Odyssey back then. Maybe just a small clip as a reward for solving the riddle, and not, see you at Ubisoft Forward link.
I mean, I had it, but you cheated, so you did not see it. No, I'm kidding.
I saw it.
No. But that would have been cool. Like, you remember what they did with Ubisoft Forward, I think 2020 or something, when Immortals was like being, I think it was Immortals, right? Like the 2021, where they showed the first gameplay of Immortals. In that sort of teaser video they did. So then you actually got like a new look at gameplay through there. I think for Valhalla they did it as well, with like Eivor walking, and then it would also change scenery, while Eivor as a character would just be walking straight. So they did do that before, but for Shadows they're keeping it close to their chest. Did you, by the way, see that during IGN Live on June 9th, so of course we get gameplay on June 10th, on June 9th, though, there's going to be an Assassin's Creed presentation for...
Didn't see that.
For Shadows. So that is before the gameplay reveal. Like, it could, of course, be developers are joining and they're just going to tell us what we all already know. But still, it's Summer Game Fest. Maybe they, by June 9th, already have a trailer to show that they will then discuss.
Or a teaser,
IGN
or
Live.
IGN saw something they want to talk about.
Yeah.
They sometimes have those exclusives for the channel, right?
Yeah.
So they are able to present something exclusive ahead, or talk about it at least. Yeah, I mean, those little teasers, they make you join the show, right? So if you see a little teaser before and more at the show, you might want to turn in when it really happens. So yeah, it just makes sense to tease something beforehand. And yeah.
I mean, also, Star Wars Outlaws also last year got the Xbox Showcase cinematic trailer, and then it was like, hey, do you want to see gameplay? Tune in June, whatever it was, at the Ubisoft Forward. They might do something for Shadows as well, so that we see it during Summer Game Fest on June 7th, or during the Xbox show on June 9th, and then they're like, want to see the gameplay walkthrough? Tune in on June 10th. That would be cool.
Tune in here, there, and there.
Yeah, it's complicated.
Actions.
I mean, overall, it's not really that complicated. There are 3 shows, Summer Game Fest. So the 7th, the 9th, the 10th. I mean, we're doing a live reaction for everything. Make sure you just tune in, and then maybe we will be surprised with Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer for a first look at gameplay. Because again, they usually do the walkthrough and the sort of, like Mirage had it as well, the 2 minute, 3 minute.
How long was the Odyssey walkthrough?
I think it was like they're usually like 7-8 minutes. I think Mirage was 7-8 minutes, where they like just showed gameplay. We actually during last week's episode watched the Origins and Odyssey gameplay reveal, which was kind of interesting.
Ah, yeah, for Odyssey it was 8 minutes.
Yeah.
For the monetization on YouTube.
Yeah, very good, very smart. No, for Mirage they had like 750, so I don't think they think about that.
They don't care about that. But yeah, it would be awesome to see such a long part of gameplay. I mean, the lashback of the Valhalla gameplay reveal was crazy. So there were a lot of people left behind, disappointed, and wanting to see more. Maybe more of both character options will be shown right here. I'm still hoping for like maybe see the same mission out of 2 perspectives or so, and pick yet another character. I mean, yeah, and see of course all the weapons that were teased in the riddle. I think those will be there.
Yeah, I can pull up that image as well, because I did download that. But
also saw the straw hats.
Yeah. The straw hats, what we're looking at here. This is that image that you're talking about, that they also showed, which brand new. The katana, the I always forget the name of like the smaller blade that Yasuke is. The
Wakizashi or so.
Hakisashi, I think it's.
I don't know if it's that. There are a lot of names for different swords.
You have the Tanto, which like the smaller blade, but I think that these are just 2 katanas, by the way, because they're like kind of similar size. So maybe depending on the character. Then we have the.
I have a friend. He's working for a katana manufacturer, and he said like it's an uchi katana, if I am right about that, and it's somehow the wrong time period. Like yeah, but I'm curious. We will see.
We will see. I mean,
like some differences for style. Yeah.
Yeah. They usually do their research. Nick Daly, by the way, did a donation. Appreciate you a lot. Will Cassandra be making an appearance in Shadows? I think we answered that question in the first episode as well, right? Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about Cassandra cameos in all the AC games. Yeah.
Yeah. And we can like quickly touch on it. Again, thanks for the donation. Appreciate it. I think we were kind of what the conclusion of that conversation was mostly. I mean, I totally think she will appear at some point, but I don't think in the base game, and I do think that they have to kind of slow it down, because we know in Assassin's Creed Jade, the mobile game, she will be in the tutorial. We of course know, she was in Valhalla. We know she went to Egypt. So I think it's cooler, I think, for her to disappear for some time and then come back as like the real surprise, instead of it being like of course she's gonna come back, because she comes back in every game. The sidekick for every AC is now Cassandra. Yeah. I
I
hope
think
that's
people
not
would
the
be
case.
craving for Ezio, but not for Cassandra.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no.
she's cool, but Ezio is still this legend that we all uh, think of when we think of Assassin's Creed. Oh yeah, it's totally possible. Imagine her as a trainer in the hideout, or you can
Yeah, but then
like,
again, that just feels
yeah.
too gamey. To like let her be. Like, does she have time to just stand around, be an NPC in her hideout? I don't know.
I mean, she has a lot of time.
Yeah, I know she has a lot of time, but she's like searching for artifacts, right? Not just chilling and being a vendor that we can talk to. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right.
Maybe. But yeah, makes sense to put her in some kind of mini DLC, maybe for
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
Christmas surprise again. And that was very well received. And I would love to see something like that again, but not in the base game. Yeah, I think the base game should stand for itself.
Yeah,
Just
no, I agree. And
yeah.
maybe like would be cool if there's like an Easter egg here and there. Maybe she
Mm.
was there, and then we're
maybe
like,
in a
oh,
document, and you see, this woman from Greece.
yeah, that they
she-
are that she did that they're describing her or something.
Yeah, I mean, we had that in Assassin's Creed Mirage with the documents of the legacy of the First Blade, etc.
Yeah,
You remember those in
yeah, with the Darius being talked about in a way.
Alamut. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was great. I mean, if you want to dig in, then you can, but it's purely optional. And I love that kind of style because nobody is forced to consume that lore, but you can choose to. And
Yeah.
it's always a great option, in my opinion. Yeah. So
sure.
yeah, Cassandra, maybe some hints. Maybe also some hints regarding the events of Assassin's Creed Valhalla or after Valhalla. That's also something I'm interested in because we got this hint for Cologne. You remember those assassins going to Cologne?
Oh yeah.
And maybe they will put in some kind of teaser for Hexe as well, or Hexe, of course. Not
Yeah,
Hexe.
because that would be not too long after this game, actually, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like maybe
interesting.
2 years or so, I think.
2 years.
2026.
Oh, yeah.
You
oh
mean?
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like in terms of setting. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be like maybe 100 or
One-
200 years.
Yeah,
if
something
at
like
all.
that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
So there might be a connection, but not too sure.
I mean, we know the post launch will be big. Maybe we will take a boat and leave Japan in one DLC. That would be wild to kind of see.
That totally
other
makes
parts.
sense.
Yeah, I think so.
Or
as
maybe
well.
China. See the flying mountains you saw in real life.
Yeah, the Avatar mountains.
The Avatar Mountains.
Yeah, for
AC
people who don't
Avatar.
know, I went to China on a holiday break, and I went to the mountains that like the floating mountains in Avatar. They're kind of inspired by the environment that I went to, and yeah, that would be cool to see that full circle in another Ubisoft game, but then the actual mountains.
Do
But
we yet have questions for the developers? If
yeah. Let's talk about that. I see many people already talk about it in the chat. So thanks everyone for dropping your questions. I'm gonna go over them, but I want to start with you. What?
With me?
Yeah. What? If you right now, if I'm like, hey, I have this developer on the phone, you can ask one question. What would it be about Assassin's Creed Shadows?
Of course, the most important thing is always, how will the skill tree look like? Will it be worth to grind the game?
And they will be.
Will it be a Diablo? No, but sure. I'm totally interested in seeing a skill tree or some form of inventory. And yeah, I would love to have a game that would be similar to Origins and Odyssey in terms of leveling, etc. I know many people disliked it, but I loved it since I came from The Witcher, and I would love to see such a system. Maybe builds you can create for different characters and specs and sub-specs. Maybe now we can focus on throwing or melee stealth, or Yasuke can focus on certain weapons that you can build up. I don't know. I'm totally excited if that will be a thing or it will be more casual.
Okay, so what would then the question be? Like the one sentence with a question mark?
I don't have one sentence. I only have 10.
Okay,
Will we be able to build certain builds with the characters?
Okay.
And then there will be like this stereotypical answer. Yeah, we have a lot prepared, and
Yeah,
both
that's why you
characters
have
will be
to.
different.
That's why you have to ask specific questions, because otherwise they can just go. Of course, we have a lot of depth in our progression system, and yeah, if you want to play
just
Yasuke
like very
as a
vague.
warrior and Naoe as an assassin, that's totally possible. But you can also, as Naoe, use upgrade some combat skills. She's a very good fighter as well, because she has the Kusarigama, spear, or like a sickle, flail combo. She's very capable, but Yasuke can use stealth as well. He's a bit slower though, a bit more noisier, but if you upgrade some skills, you can make him a stealth character as well. But you can't go all the way, so Naoe will always be the better assassin than Yasuke.
Yeah, that will be kind of
That's
the answer
probably
they
the
would
answer.
give, right? I asked a question about Star Wars Outlaws when I had the cooperation with them, and I asked like will there be open world spots that we can grind? And the answer was like, yeah, the open world will be very vast, and we'll have different places to explore and look at. I was like, oh,
okay, so but that's
I didn't
why
want to know that.
that's why I'm gonna give you a tip for how I usually try and ask questions, because again, you should be as specific as possible. So my first question that I want to ask, again, the Reda system, I will totally ask about it because I'm afraid it will go, but we will. I hope I'm wrong. My number one thing I want to ask, and I'm not sure if they're ready to answer that yet, but I do think it makes more sense to ask that in the Reda system. How long is the main story? And I will kind of phrase it like this. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I had a great time, but I felt that the main story was just too long. It took you like 80 hours to reach the end, and yeah, by that time, yeah, you could easily be... It became kind of... Like, there were a lot of story arcs that at one point did not feel necessary. So how do you make sure that in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you are... Yeah, more people will reach the end without feeling kind of burned out by it. So how long would you say the main story for the game is? And then I'm really curious what they're gonna say, because that's like a critique I think a lot of people had.
I mean, they could totally say, "Yep, we're not ready to answer it," but they could say something like,
Yeah, but
we took your feedback and we dived into the average play times and analyzed
that would be cool.
that.
Then we already have a good answer. Then it will be like, okay, they're listening and they're taking that feedback to heart, which likely means that it won't be as long as Valhalla, which I think is a good thing. 50 hours.
And then it might have optional content to go through.
Yeah,
maybe some additional side stories or paid DLCs, of course.
I mean, we know the game will be 100 hours, like, if you want to do everything, but I'm just curious about the main path. I see Lashings UK are saying Age of Shadows 30 to 40 hour main story. Like, that is what I want. Raider Reaper 50, 60, 50 people are already like, that's a bit too much.
Can we do a poll on how long everyone would love to have the
for the main story? I'm gonna pull that up. And I see Michael GTG with another donation. Appreciate you. So there are multiple questions here. Let's go over them. But I'm first gonna... you can read the questions maybe. I'm gonna make the poll for...
Can the player change the season after story completion, or will it change on its own? That's a very good question. And of course, there are two possibilities. The first one, to make it like Hogwarts Legacy and change via story progression, but then it wouldn't change after a certain point, which is unlikely in my opinion, because the game will live for years. So I would say seasons either change via time played or after certain events, but I think time played makes the most sense if you want to give the game like a real long tail in terms of length. What is your opinion, Jordan, on that?
So, yeah, again, can the player change the season after the story completion, or will it change on its own? I mean, we already know that the seasons will change when playing through the main story. But I hope, and that's another question I have, can we at one point change it back? Because what happened with Hogwarts Legacy, for example, that game had seasons as well. Really cool. It was mostly just like the look of the world changed. There were some cool interactions with like a snowman that you only had in the winter. But after finishing that game, you could not go back to an older season. And that kind of sucked. While in AC3, you had the Animus hack that you could unlock. and then change the seasons after the game. So, like, it would suck if we at one point end the game in spring. I'm just saying, I'm not sure if that's the case, but for the sake of this argument, and then we are stuck in spring for a full year during the post-launch.
Don't think that. That would suck.
Yeah, that would not be great because
they either make it change manually or like via time passing by in game.
Yeah.
Or maybe changing from real time
cool.
Seasons, right?
Yeah.
Also a possibility.
Yeah, but then only if you reached, like, at one point you will have finished the main story. It would be cool if then I'm of two minds. Like, on one end it would be cool if the game changed seasons depending on what the real life season was, kind of like what they did with the festivals in Valhalla in a way. But that would still mean that if in next summer, so next year, the game will be out, we will have DLC. That DLC, everyone will then be playing that during the summer season, because of course you're going to play it when it comes out. So that still means that everyone is going to have the same experience, and I don't think they want that. So I think it would be cool if you could just change it manually, so that if we play the same mission, we have a different experience. I think that would be cool, and it would be cool if they build in a feature like the older games where you can replay a sequence again and then in a different season. So, like, I think that's of course what Ubisoft is overall. That's what we really saw with the story creator mode. Like, they are looking at this huge game that they're making. There are like 17, 16 studios working on it, but at one point you can finish it, and then you're like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So they're looking at ways to make content they've already made more interesting to be replayed. And the season system is very cool for that. So I totally think that giving us a way to do it, or maybe what would be even cooler, is what if they do like that's what Immortals had as well, if you remember that. Every week there was a challenge in that game where it was like, go to this puzzle and then you have to beat it in like a time limit. What if they do that in Shadows as well? Every week
would be great, yeah.
One of the main
totally
missions,
makes sense for Infinity as well, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, every week in the hideout, you talk to this person, and or maybe like the seer or whatever they will think of. You take a drug or whatever, and then you replay a mission from the main game that you've already finished. Every week it's the same for everyone, but it's in a different season than what you did before. So that would be cool too.
Yeah, that would be great. I totally agree with you, and I think changing the seasons can be fun. It might be a little bit OP for some missions, like if you can choose to walk over a lake that would be not frozen at all, and you have to swim through it and maybe drown in it. I don't know, but maybe, after finishing the story, it would be totally okay to give us that tool to choose.
Yeah, but maybe not
season,
for new content,
or maybe in New Game Plus only, or And I totally agree, for new content, not as well, because maybe there's a certain season that a story is written for.
Oh yeah,
might be happening as well. Like people coming into the house, freezing and getting a tea. That might be a part of some missions, at least for atmosphere.
They already said that some historical things that happen in this game took place during a certain season. So during the main story, that will be the same as well. But they can do a lot of cool things. So I totally think they have to give us a way to at least change it after finishing the main story. But during the main story, the game will decide which season you're in. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. Like, if there's a side quest that you can do at the start of the game and at the end, you can do it in every season, and that should mean that you have a different experience depending on which season you pick. The other question was, what is the gameplay difference between a kunai and a shuriken? That's a good question as well.
Mm-hmm. So the kunai is, of course, the dagger. Kind of. It's not a real dagger, but it's more a throwing knife, and the shuriken is, of course, the star that you would throw.
I can pull up the image again.
I think those are very different in terms of aesthetic, of course, but maybe, I don't know, a shuriken is more deadly, but a kunai is more precise or so. I could see that happening. But yeah, that's a very good question to ask, if there is what the gameplay difference is, of course.
Yeah, or maybe the difference is you would hope that there's a difference, but it could also be that certain enemies only drop one of the or the other, so it's smarter. Yeah, you have to think of it in terms of like inventory management or something. So yeah, here we have, of course, the shuriken and the kunai. Maybe I don't know. Maybe like the kunai can be like thrown to multiple targets or something. That would be cool. Like you can throw multiple in one, like horizontal.
Like between those fingers,
yeah.
three.
I mean, you can do that in a way with the throwing knife as well if you're like capable enough. But we did see in the cinematic trailer, Naue, of course, throw 3 at the same time. So maybe you can like, throw 3 at one target for like more damage or something.
Yeah, maybe. Or there might be like a multiple use to some of those things. Like maybe shuriken can be used as caltrops. Traps. I don't know. Maybe we can get really creative with the physics system that is new and take that to our advantage. Would be cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting it, to be honest. Oh, by the way, the poll is quite interesting.
Okay.
On YouTube, we have 30% almost asking for 60 hours plus story, while yet another 30% almost are asking for 40 hours.
Yeah.
So there's a huge gap between those.
Yeah, I would so again, so 30% 30 hours is 21%, 40 hours is 28%, 50 hours is 23%. So 50 hours for some reason, not a lot of people want that. 60 hours or more is 28%. And that is of course what Valhalla had. It's even more than 60 hours if you really like take your time. Like I personally think, I would argue, I think the 40 is a good place to end as well, because it does not mean that the game is over after 40 hours. It just means that you have reached a satisfying end at 40 hours. And then if you are still enjoying the game, can do all the side content you missed, invest in your hideout. Like there are so many systems in this game that will probably ask a lot of time of you. And then also, like, I think the main issue, and that's also what I'm gonna add in my doc now that I'm thinking of it, because I really think that, and I think I said it before, but I'm not sure if this will do during the show, but like, I remember when Wrath of the Druids came out, a lot of people are like, I did not even finish the main story, so why am I gonna play a DLC? And I think that's a huge issue, of course, for Ubisoft, who is trying to get people to get the season pass and play the DLC as well. So lowering the point where you reach the credits, so you get that satisfying ending of the main story, will also make more people, I think, interested in continuing their journey with DLC. Because I remember this from one of the, like, when it was still called Codename Red, it really seems that they want to do it more like MMO expansion, so that it's that they're really gonna raise the level cap, and that it's gonna be more focused on the kind of end game experience instead of adding like stories in between, which I prefer overall, because it means that they can throw harder encounters at you, and that the story can then be more meaningful as well. Like if you look at like the Wrath of the Druids or the Siege of Paris, I mean, Eivor did not really evolve during those adventures, and that was really
not
because
at all.
No, and that was because they had to go back to England as well and continue their journey there. So there was just not a lot of room for interesting stuff.
I mean, the solution for the third DLC was kind of smart, to give him OP powers, but only in the DLC.
Yeah.
It was kind of fun to feel OP at some point and then go back and be normal. But I think like I have actually voted for 40 hours, so I think that's like almost a sweet spot. I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Origins at 35 hours, Witcher also 35 to 40 hours. It's kind of a point where I feel confident to say like it's enough story for now. But there should be, of course, other content to make, like maybe a River Raid replacement, as someone asked for. Something to grind for people who like grinding, like the hideout, to build up and level. There's so much, there could be so much to do, and I think they will implement it. Of course. Of course. Should be the case. Someone asked about the 60 FPS mode.
Yeah, that's a very good
Michael?
one as well. Michael, thanks a lot for your generous support here. For performance mode 60 FPS on consoles and mini games. I'm gonna put that in my doc for if I'm able to ask questions.
Do you remember the leaked screenshot? There was a photo of a screenshot of a test version of Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I remember
and
that.
it said performance mode. It was on Xbox Scarlet. So I think
that's
there
the
will be
Series
one.
X, I think. Yeah.
Scarlet is the
it would
project
be-
name, right, of the Xbox.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, that would be kind of wild to from Mirage and Valhalla, and even Origins and Odyssey getting 60 FPS to go to this upgraded engine and then be stuck at 30 again. So I'm gonna ask it, but I don't think they've said it yet. So that's a good question, and they can probably easily answer that. It would just be a yes or no. So like that's of course always what I think about with these interviews as well is I only have a limited amount of time. So if it's just a yes or no question, I can like get way more out in a short time, which is gonna be good. Philippines represent, much love. Thanks for joining there. Let's see. We got. Let's look at some more.
Some more
questions
chat
here.
conversation, maybe on Twitch as well. Are you guys even paying attention to the chat? Yeah, we are.
Oh,
But,
we
we
don't
are,
have a
of course,
poll here.
deep-
Yeah,
Deep
we're
in.
Yeah, we're deep in. Sorry, Robo Wizzo. But yeah, polls live here as well. Thanks, Ben, for that. I'm not seeing it though, but. Yor, can you ask how they revamped the combat system and animations? Is Kenway saying? What my question always with that is that we will by that point probably have seen gameplay. So will that question not be answered already? So I would then prefer to look at the gameplay and be like, okay, what was like that character is using this ability? What does that mean? I of course also know when the gameplay is shown during a Ubisoft Forward that is the footage we will be using for videos. So then I'm very focused on okay, what we saw there because that is what I am able to show in the video. What is that? So yeah, Kenway, I do think we will get answers to that, but that's one of those questions where it's like that gives the developer once again a lot of room to talk about stuff that probably isn't that interesting. While if you ask, hey, Yasuke was breaking an armor plate there, but the other swipe from the same attack did not break the armor plate. I'm just saying something. Why is that? Then he can be like, okay, yeah, but that was because they didn't have enough adrenaline. Or I'm just saying something, but just to give you an idea.
Yeah. Curious if those ultimate attacks from Origins will come back, maybe,
Yeah, I think
for the different weapons.
Yeah, the overpower attack, I do think makes sense. Like that's what I really think. If I pull up the cinematic trailer here, like of course the point where Yasuke joins from the shadows, and just takes out multiple enemies. That really feels like one of those overpower attacks. Let's see. Gonna pull it up here.
Yep. Curious to see it. I will see it a little bit delayed, right?
But it's
the
the one
stream.
where he's like grabbing the katana and then yeah, and then slash like that feels like an overpower attack to me. Where
and it totally looks like the cinematic trailer where they revealed Valhalla with Eivor in the battle.
oh yeah,
Only
100%.
missing the Raven.
Yeah, I'm happy there's no Raven. I don't need the Raven.
But an eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Like she is like throwing 3 shurikens in one go. So again, that might be a way to kill higher target enemies in one go
With 3 shuriken, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That would
also
be interesting.
multi-throwing kunai. Yeah. We should maybe you can ask that about potential co-op gameplay. They also declined that it's in the game from the start, but maybe the engine is capable of adding it in later.
I mean, they already said for Codename Red and Hexe that those will be single player only. But yeah, never say never, of course. But
I mean, we have the Assassin's Creed multiplayer that is developed already.
Yeah.
So that might be yet another thing. And they can, of course, take characters from the whole franchise and put them together into a melting pot and make the Assassin's Creed Battle Royale in it.
Oh my god. Don't give them
Right.
ideas. We have Kunis Stop here in the chat. That's a very good question. Will we get Isu outfits? And I remember that people were asking this question for Mirage as well, and then they did tease that there was gonna be this Isu outfit, or like at least this. I mean, every Assassin's Creed game has it, right? Like an outfit that you have to kind of work for, get artifacts or shards or whatever. So I can like totally put that in the game.
It will be there for sure.
Yeah, I mean the Thor armor set was kind of dead in Valhalla, right? Because I still think it's wild that you had to get the cloak from Hytem in the Hidden Ones Bureau after killing all the targets. That was super weird. But apart from that, like Origins, of course, had the Isu outfit. It was actually called that.
Yeah.
What was
found
the
it in the
outfit in
Sphinx,
Odyssey?
right? Oh, it had so many Isu outfits.
Yeah, but it only got the Origins Isu outfit, of course, at the end, like during the Atlantis DLC. So
yeah, I mean the Atlantis DLC threw in all those Isu outfits.
But what was the base game sort of equivalent?
Mm.
You got like the Spartan Red.
I mean,
the
there
Spartan
was,
War
of course, the
set.
microtransaction.
Yeah, but I'm like talking about like what something you can earn in the game. I'm kind of blanking.
I'm not too sure.
I don't think it had one. Maybe
spent so many hours in that game, but
yeah, but the base game was like, maybe people know it in chat.
Yeah, we had like the first civilization set from Elysium, of course, but
yeah, again.
Besides,
I see people talking about the transmog system, if that's gonna be in, and they already confirmed it, but we don't know. I hope it will be similar to Odyssey, so I'm gonna ask about that because I don't want to spend silver or whatever currency to change an outfit at the settlement only. So I'm gonna ask transmog system, same as Odyssey.
Yeah, would make sense.
So thanks, Samuel. I hope that answers your question.
Especially so people buy the microtransactions if they only like the looks of them.
Yeah. Again, I totally think that those outfits will, like Star Wars Outlaws will once again probably have outfits that are only cosmetic, but in Shadows they will probably have perks again.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited about Star Wars as well. I mean, that's not the topic of today, but we will likely see something as well.
Oh yeah,
week.
for sure. You would think so.
Yeah, I would think so.
What about what they're doing regarding Shinto? Kaiger, I hope I pronounced your name right, is asking. So these are like the sort of temple-like structures.
I think it's yeah. I think it's more like a religion, right?
Yeah. I'm not
so
sure.
So there might be a clash of cultures.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We have like the people from the Netherlands, of course, coming to the Japanese country and bringing the Christian belief over, and maybe
I mean, we know monks will be an enemy in the game as well, so there will probably be some conflicts. That's an interesting question. Like when I see something like that, I immediately am like, oh, is it gonna be like where we pray to get a skill point or something? But we will see.
Oh yeah, of course. Like in the river raids, as well, we can find the books of knowledge.
Yeah.
And what makes sense to combine that with something. But yeah, I mean, they could totally use that belief to get us some OP abilities or so. I'm curious if the game will be more grounded. Maybe that's also an interesting question to ask, if the game will be grounded or more supernatural, like Isu style Cassandra or supernatural Eivor in Asgard.
For sure. I already had the question mythical creatures to fight, but I can be
sure.
More
we had
grounded.
that in the first podcast, right?
Yeah, more grounded versus Odyssey over the top. I'm feeling that they're going for a bit more grounded approach.
And then make a supernatural DLC for everyone who would love to fight some creatures and some demons. I mean,
Abu said Khan is saying Final Fantasy type tie-in missions. That's very specific, but we can ask about crossover. But that's, again, I think something you want to ask later on, don't you think?
yeah. I mean, that's maybe for post-launch content.
Yeah, we had, of course, Destiny 2 for Valhalla, Monster Hunter.
We had Final Fantasy for AC Origins.
Yeah.
A lot.
Odyssey had something. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure as well. There's so much happening, and
No, I don't think Odyssey had it, but I do think they will continue with that. They will have probably more of that.
Maybe the samurai set of Valhalla will come back to Shadows.
Did you
remember
see
that pack with the katanas?
I mean, you had the glowing katanas, and there was like another pack as well. And if you actually, I can like show this on screen. Did you see like the Twitch drops that we have for Ubisoft Forward? I have like an image.
Oh no. I don't know if I have them.
So here.
Let me go. Greatest program.
So here they are. So basically, of course, Ubisoft Forward, June 10th. And then there will be Twitch drops. If you watch for 15 minutes, it has like a Rainbow Six charm. I'm kind of blocking that. Let's see if I can like show you that. It's not that interesting. And then after 20 minutes, you have an Avatar Frontiers of Pandora charm. So that really means that we're gonna see the DLC, of course. After that, they're gonna show Star Wars Outlaws, Trailblazer trinket. So of course the ship that
the trinkets, they took that from Rainbow Six and put it into any game now.
Yeah, and then like for first person games, I get it because that's like one of the core things you see on your weapon, but we don't need it in Outlaws and Assassin's Creed. But hey, Mirage of course had it, so now they're gonna continue it. Because the bird skin is gone, so they have to think of something else. And then at the end we get like that samurai outfit that you I think meant, right?
Yeah.
That's like pretty cool that you get this gear set if you by watching the Ubisoft Forward on either our Twitch channel, because I think we will both have the drops probably. I think if you just stream
most likely
versus with the special events tab, you will get it. And they also have an AC red trinket, but they don't show it. They have no image of it, so that's kind of sad. I asked for a new image, but I did not get it yet. But yeah, there will be an AC red. Funny that it still says red. Trinket that you get as well.
I mean, those trinkets, they are like a little gadget, but yeah, the gear set might be something of interest.
Yeah.
For 60 minutes, that's.
I mean, I still think, and that's my kind of dream, that they will do a surprise Valhalla update with New Game Plus.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, hey, want to get in the mood for Shadows? Here's New Game Plus. That would be kind of cool.
Okay. Also curious, Avatar. Nothing happened with that. No season pass content yet revealed, right?
No, but they're gonna do that here for sure. Like that only makes
sense. They are,
sense.
but I think they are pretty late after 7
No,
months.
they said summer and fall during the post-launch trailer. So they're taking their time. I mean, it took Valhalla was earlier than that. But yeah, they're taking their time. I don't know if I will go back to that game. It really depends on how cool the DLC looks, but I'm not expecting it. Let's look at some more questions. Should I go over some questions that I already put in?
Yeah, let's discuss those also.
Okay.
I mean, you have a lot of experience with interviewing journalists, right?
Yeah. I've been also as like a journalist before doing YouTube. I've been able to interview developers, so that's been really cool. It's actually, I think, one of the most fun I have. Just talking to developers and kind of understanding where they're coming from and learning way more about the game. And I also feel that because creators in general, like the type of creators that we are really like focused on a few games, so we can like ask way more specific questions. And I really feel that if a developer sees, whoa, they kind of know what they're talking about, they're also easily sharing more, I feel. So that's, of course, nice. I always try to get information that other people, don't have. So that's exciting. But yeah, some other things that I put in, like one of the things that was said during interviews, or actually during it was No, I think during the Ubisoft trailer breakdown they did themselves. Jonathan, the creative director, said that characters have a life when they're not being played. And then he was talking about Yasuke and Naoe. So when you're playing Naoe, Yasuke has a life. So it's not just waiting in the menu to be summoned again. And I'm really curious what that means, because they did not really elaborate on it. Does that mean that as Naoe we can run into Yasuke and fight together? That would be really cool. And actually, in one of the concept arts, the one in the woods with the bridge, we see, let's see if I can quickly pull it up. We see both characters in the same image, and that kind of is hinting towards that.
Yeah. The side-by-side image, I remember it.
Yeah, that's the gameplay image, but that could be like a cutscene. I mean, one of the new concept arts we got. So this one.
Like
Here we see Naoe on the side jumping over the bridge, the broken bridge, and then we see the patrol on the bridge, and then I think over here, if you like zoom under the bridge, you see Yasuke standing there, kind of chilling.
I didn't notice him.
Yeah. So it kind of feels like they're ganking up on these characters, and it could just be concept art. It could just be an idea where it's like, oh, you can play.
It also could be another samurai, because you don't see.
Fair enough, but okay. I'm saying it's Yasuke. It could be someone. I think it kind of looks like him. I don't know, but I'm
it kind of looks like the armor they promote with him right now.
I think so as well.
That's the case. But we only see like a shining armor, maybe that head thing that is very prominent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, or as we see Jordan Gray here saying as well, is it similar to GTA 5? Like that could also be what he's meaning, that when you switch to a different character,
you wake up drunk as Yasuke.
yeah. Something like that. I don't think Yasuke will wake up drunk, but that sounds more like an Eivor thing. But we don't know. But yeah, that
Sake
could also,
culture is there,
yeah. That's right. So yeah, I'm curious about what that means. Another question I have, and I think I talked about it with Joyce, not with you yet. Like, does Naoe have the one-hit assassinations?
Yeah, I think that's what you and Joyce talked about the one hits.
So I'm curious. I want to know. Maybe we see it in the gameplay already, but then I still have to know if that's the case all the time, or if it's like, no, Naoe in this example had like an assassin build or whatever. Because my thing is, if she does have one-hit assassinations, I'm just gonna build her as like a combat powerhouse, because I will be one-hit assassinating enemies anyways. Unless there's like assassin gear that gives you extra damage for tools. So if you want to have your tools be more effective, you have to use that gear. Otherwise, I don't see why you would not focus on strength and kind of perks or stats that enhance your combat, because you one-hit kill anyone in stealth anyways. So I'm curious.
Yeah, but only in stealth. Yeah, but then you come on with the smoke bomb or the sleeping dart assassination,
yeah. Again, like that's insane. So yeah, let's. I'm just curious about that. I'm curious about that.
Yeah, totally. That's a good question to ask. And one-hit assassinations, I think they somehow have to be in Assassin's Creed, because I don't know, it feels so Assassin's Creedy to me.
I know, but on the other hand, what I really liked about Odyssey is that you could still have the one-hit assassinations, but you had to kind of build your character around it, so then it was more like a choice. And that means that you're very good in stealth, but the moment you got caught, you would be like, you could very quickly die, because you did not have a lot of defense and stuff. But if Naoe has one-hit assassinations, no matter the gear she has, if you then build her to be more like a defensive character and a combat-based character, you kind of have the best of both worlds. So we will have to wait and see. It's of course a lot of speculation, but I wanna answer that, and I'm curious if Yasuke can get that then as well.
If you can build Yasuke to be more stealthy, and build like Naoe to be more tanky or better in combat, both characters kind of become the same. They hesitate towards the middle, and I think that that doesn't make sense in my opinion.
I mean, they still have exclusive weapons, and Naue only has the grapple hook and other tools. So I still think they will have a lot of differentiating factors, but we will have to wait and see. Again, it's like hard to know without the gameplay. I have like we of course know that destruction is gonna be huge in this game. So we learned that Yasuke can, for example, destroy markets with like the Kanabo and stuff. And I'm curious that if you destroy a lot of properties from people, if you would then also desync. I think that's like a fun thing to know, because of course when you kill a lot of people, you will desync. But what if you destroy their properties, which is kind of new, of course. So that will be really fun. A mercenary system, is that back? I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a new desync system where if you desync with one character, you can play the mission with the other one. And if you then fail, then you can restart with the other character.
Yeah, if you actually die with the other, like one with the, well, I don't know.
But then you have to like somehow tell a story about how the revival of the character will happen when you meet him again or her again. Yeah, doesn't make too much sense, but would be fun as well to then be forced to try it another way. Yeah,
for sure. That would, so that instead of just sticking to, I don't know, like they really said that you can just play with one character. So I do think it would kind of suck if you only want to play as Yasuke to be forced to play Naue every time you die as Yasuke, right? So I'm not sure how that's gonna work. But we have easy mode gamer. Your ask about difficulty levels, very on brand. I need a story mode. I mean, I can ask about difficulty levels. Would be cool if Nightmare was already, of course, in there, because they usually add that later on. But that could be.
They also promoted Ubisoft Forward to be very inclusive, with subtitles, audio description, sign language, and it would just make sense to then make those games very inclusive.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
for sure. Like every Ubisoft game has more accessibility features than the last. So I'm not. Yeah.
You can use those to make the game easier as well, of course.
For sure.
Oh.
We have Jara saying, Yasuke can use guns. That has indeed already been confirmed, Mr. After Games. Also, a bow. He's able to use
only front-loaded weapons and, of course, a bow.
Yeah.
So you have to really choose when to use the weapon and not, like, use it all the time. Bam, bam, bam is not possible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Maybe there will be some explosive barrels.
Oh yeah,
that we can use. And,
probably the enemies will
going
probably
with
find
the gun only, but not with Naue. Maybe that's like something as well.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we have some more?
I'm curious if Yasuke will be able to break through more walls than Naue might be. Because of physical strength.
Yeah, that's what they already said. That Yasuke will have like a shoulder bash, and Naue will of course have the grapple hook. So it really seems that Naue can go over the wall, and then Yasuke will just blast through. If of course the door, I would imagine, is breakable. But I do think there will be puzzles in the game, or where it's like, oh, you can either like go. I hope that you can complete every puzzle with either character, but then just use a different path. That would be kind of hard to make though. But having to switch every time you see a puzzle where it's like, oh, I have to be the other character, that would maybe kind of suck. We have Doc Boss King saying on Twitch, how will romance work in Age of Shadows? And will it only be locked on one character, or could you play and switch between both characters? They already confirmed romance, but it's pretty interesting. Totally watch my most recent Shadows video if you want to have a more in-depth look at it. Or look, we only have the information right now, but what it basically is that there are certain characters that prefer Yasuke over Naue and the other way around. So high chance that there will only be certain characters who will romance with Naue, and only certain characters who will romance with Yasuke. So that's gonna be very interesting, and that's also a question.
Or with both.
Yeah, or with both. So that would be
at the same time, like Geralt.
Oh my god. I mean, why not? Why not? No, but I'm kind of curious about that. If that means that if you, for example, like that's how the dialogue system seems to work. You have conversations where both characters are in the conversation, but then you can choose to respond with either Naoe or Yasuke, and yeah, you will probably feel the person you're talking to. Do they prefer one character or the other? And then of course you talk with the character that they prefer. I think that would probably be the best option. But yeah, for romance, if there's one character who could romance with both of them, or if there's one character who doesn't like another character, so if you romance with that character, you cannot romance that character anymore. Maybe it's getting too complicated, but I'm curious how deep the system goes. To be fair though, romances in Assassin's Creed games have never been like the ones that we saw in the RPG games. Never been very deep. So I'm not expecting a lot, but it does seem that there are people that know or Naoe can only romance, and ones that Yasuke can only romance. And yes, you can switch between characters whenever you want.
I mean, that would also lead to a lot of replayability. If you play through a mission, that would open up a romance option, but only for a certain character. I think there might be some people out there who would replay the game to choose yet another option or so. And yeah, the romance options, for example, in Odyssey, I don't know, I didn't care about them at all. Did you?
No, I did not. But I did think it was like a cool sort of thing you could approach and kind of chase.
But the meaning was missing.
Yeah. It was
a deeper meaning to it.
It was always just you saw them kiss and then the camera moved away, and that was like a fall as well. So it was kind of like,
I mean, you even had a kid, but
oh yeah, but that's a whole different story. But doesn't matter. Like if you have a kid, still go kiss with everyone you come across. Why not? Major Underdog. When is Ubisoft Forward? June 10th on the Monday. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Only 4 days to go, and I think it starts at 9 p.m. Central European Time. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very interesting indeed. I can't wait. And of course, like, make sure you watch the other streams from Summer Game Fest. The countdowns are on the channel in the live tab. Check them out.
You have a lot of live events planned for the next few days, right?
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe Shadows, like, we don't know for a fact, but maybe Shadows shows up at other events as well. It's totally possible. So.
Totally, yeah. But not promised. Like, I was hoping for that to happen in the past at some events, and it didn't happen. But it since it's so close to the actual reveal of the gameplay, it might be the case.
And Ubisoft has done it before, so it's not like, it's not that we have not seen Shadows. Like, that was, of course, with the previous events. We did not even, it was still called Codename Red, so it made sense for them to pick their own moment and reveal it like they did. But now anything can happen, so will be interesting.
Totally.
Will there be New Game Plus or another empty promise? That's a good one as well. I'm gonna ask that as well. I know that's again probably something they wanna answer more closer to launch. But sometimes I'm surprised. Like, maybe when asking about the seasons, like, can you change it? They may be like, in New Game Plus you can, and then you also know, hey, they're doing New Game Plus. We will have to wait and see. Any DLC, any future plans? Like, DLC, of course, we know there will be 2 expansions as part of the Season Pass. And, of course, a ton of post-launch content, probably. Do you still have something that we haven't touched on yet?
I think we've touched on a lot of topics today, so nothing too fancy to talk about yet. I think there will be a lot to talk about in the next podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And, we are now live on Thursday, but that was because I had a wedding of a friend of mine yesterday, so that's why we moved it. But next week, we will be back on Wednesday, because we want to aim for that Wednesday, 3 p.m. Central European time window, so 9 a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m., very early. But you can always watch later in the Pacific area of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically the same time you're watching now, but on the Wednesday. I will say, though, I will probably be a zombie, because I will leave on the June 11th. And then at like 1 or something. And then arrive in Amsterdam at 9 a.m. So I will skip a whole night.
You will jet like the hell out
I
of.
will be jet. So you will have to take over. You will be talking more. I will just be. I will
Yeah,
be
that's
a
no
zombie.
problem for me. I can
Okay.
do the talking, and you can do the sleeping on stream.
Yeah. I will be
And
like. Yeah.
you already
yeah,
know,
yeah.
like sleeping streams are sometimes the most successful streams on the web.
Yeah,
So
I heard that too. So we might want to try that out.
it's the Assassin's Creed Sleepcast.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't sound that
Yeah.
exciting, but.
It sounds very exciting.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
imagine a character from one of those games just sleeping straight 8 hours, and everyone on the web watching the character.
I see some people ask about the modern day as well. We know that will be part of Infinity and not of Shadows, but I can still ask about it. Like, hey, can you already share how it's gonna work? But I think they are gonna they're gonna do like an Assassin's Creed Infinity moment later in the year where they will really show us everything. I hope that will be that will be kind of it. Thanks, Ben, for leading people to the live tab on YouTube. That's cool. I think Odyssey was more hookups than romance. That's right. Maybe that will be here as well. Like, I'm not expecting them to really evolve that, but I could ask about it. Are we getting naval combat? I can ask that too. But we have
might be interesting.
We did get the map as part of the box, and there was not a lot of water on it, right?
Yeah, but I don't know for a DLC or River Raidish content, but I think Japanese culture is not very famous for exploring and using ships such as Vikings did.
Yeah, but of course the Portuguese and people that arrived in Japan at that time they did. Yeah. So there are still ships that are gonna be there. I still have to remove my pencil.
I mean, that's a nice question to ask, and maybe we will know more in a few weeks or days.
Yeah, but I'm kind of happy that there's not a lot of water. I'm kind of over the naval stuff, but I do think they will likely, like, maybe there will be sort of origin style missions, right? Where it's like, hey,
like
this
the Aya mission 1 mission with the naval combat.
Yeah, something like that. I can see that happen.
I now see your map on stream.
Yeah. Some people talk about the parkour as well. That's, of course, also a big one. I think I already have it. But I hope they show that in the gameplay, so it's clear. From what we've seen.
There will likely be a huge difference between now and Yasuke. Of course, they already announced that, and we will really feel it being different. I'm super curious on how it will feel to, like, break through a gate with Yasuke, but maybe sneaking up the wall with Naoe and playing those missions, saving before and using the other character. Maybe that will be a thing.
Yeah.
Excited for that, yeah.
For sure. Will the two characters become assassins? That's a good question, but actually during our opening the box, they did tease that they were both assassins.
Yeah. In one of those answers by the AI bot,
So I'm not sure if that was like a marketing thing that they did. Yeah, I don't know.
There's, of course, a difference between being an assassin and being in the Assassin's Brotherhood. So I don't know if they will differentiate that.
Yeah.
Hey, JorRaptor, what's your favorite hypermeter for AC Shadows? Mine is actually optimistic at the moment, and expectations kind of match that, you know.
Yeah, so cautiously optimistic. Jova Keen, thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. Like, there are two ways to approach it. For one, we have been waiting for 4 years almost for a new RPG game like this. So just the idea, like, I really think because even Fall had a lot of issues, but I still look at a really great time playing that. I still remember mostly the good things. And I also think that covering and talking with everyone watching and that will be really fun in the podcast as well. Like, what they could do better and what we hope to see in the future and how things could evolve. But also here pre-launch, like, I just love the whole thing around it. Like, it's just an exciting time that we're finally getting a game like this, because I have not touched an RPG Assassin's Creed in a long time, and that's great to have a break between releases. So that's why I'm, like, super hyped to get going again and make a lot of videos and play, like, get lost in that world. And the Japanese setting is the one that I have always wanted. And I think what they've shown so far is looking very good. The fact that we're finally ditching PS4, Xbox One. Like, the promise, I'm really excited for that. And just the fact that we're getting finally a new RPG by the Odyssey creators. I really hope that they learn from their mistakes and apply that. So yeah, on that sense, I'm like a 10. Like, I just can't wait. I've always said it. Covering these Assassin's Creed games, that's the most fun I have doing YouTube. So, but of course,
always great hyped.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun, and also
I mean, you want to love things, and I don't know, you're happy when you're hyped for something. So
yeah. So
that's a nice feeling to have.
Yeah,
as well.
but of course we have to be, and that's why I think you saying Jovakin, like, cautiously optimistic. I think that's always good. Like, you don't want to be overly hyped, because then it will always be disappointed. And again, like, Valhalla had a lot of issues around launch. I said it before, I could not even finish the game until January, so 2 months after release. So we have to still, of course, be cautious. And when we see things that we don't like, maybe around the Infinity platform, where it's like, oh, they're gonna do all the battle passes, and I want to see, and then I'm gonna give my opinion, but maybe that's gonna go way more in the grindy territory or in the microtransaction territory. Like, we have to, of course, look at that and be, like, give constructive feedback on that if we don't like it. So there's still a lot we don't know. Of course, the concept art is going to look great. Of course, the cinematic looks great. Of course, they're going to pick the best screenshots. They're going to talk about the best things. But yeah, we have to see the gameplay. And so yeah, I'm of course also cautiously optimistic. I want this game to succeed, but I will not be turning a blind eye if something doesn't work, because I think it will only make the game better if we discuss those things. So I would say overall, yeah, the hype level is, of course, a 10. I love these games, so I can't wait to play it. But I also know that, yeah, I'm also in the 8 category, where I'm like, yeah, so far they've been doing everything right. Let's see. We still have a long way to go till launch. So
yeah,
let's see. And what about you?
A lot of things to do and a lot of things to see. Yeah, but I'm excited as well, extremely excited, and looking forward to the reveal of the gameplay and, of course, the release as well. I had problems with Valhalla as you did. So, yeah, that might be happening as well. Hope they will fix everything before launch, but there will remain some mistakes. Oh, and by the way, the poll, it climbed. The 60 hours or more climbed to 32%.
Whoa.
So the majority would love the biggest story ever.
And that's always funny when you believe some of the people on Twitter, like mostly the journalists and stuff. They always say, "Oh, these games are getting too big. They're getting too big." But like, they're looking at it from a perspective where they're like, "I have to review this game, then I have to finish that in a weekend." Like, if you then see Assassin's Creed Shadows, where it's like, "Damn, it's 60 hours or more." Oh my God, there we go again. But for a lot of people that buy the game, it's gonna be their only game. So then, of course, they want a bigger story. But I still think having the 40 hours is the sweet spot, because in Valhalla there were just story arcs that were not necessary, that could have been kicked out, and the game would have been even better, even maybe shorter, but still better, and there would have been a lot of side content. So overall, I hope they go for, like, maybe between Valhalla and Odyssey, although I hope they just go for Odyssey. Odyssey was a pretty long game in the main story as well, so I mean, Origins was kind of short in a way. If you like, I do get that you want
in
more,
a way,
yeah, more than that.
But it was also pretty lengthy for a game in general, if you compare it to other brands and games.
Yeah.
But yeah, for an open world RPG, it might have been on the shorter side.
Yeah. Robo Wizzo saying,
Alright.
I still miss the weekly Red Shop reset streams. Yeah, that's a lot. I can't wait to have that return again. Like,
The legendary live events.
I mean, again, I'm gonna ask about Sargon, Reda, if that system will return. I'm not sure if they're gonna talk about it, but if I'm like very direct, like, will there be a character like Sargon or Reda? I do think they can just say yes or no, and then
A way to get microtransactions for free.
yeah, I mean, yeah, let's fingers crossed for that. And yeah, but even without that system, I still think we can do like a weekly reset stream, because there's probably gonna be a battle pass reset or store reset or whatever they're gonna do and figure out. But yeah, Frankie boy, Of course, people.
Jordan, aka JorRaptor.
Of course, if you want to see Stefan's work in English, go to Frankie Boy's channel.
Thank you so much for the shout out.
Of course, it's in the title. You can click it there, and then you can go there. Did you already make some Shadows videos? I haven't.
Yeah, I think I made 4 or so.
Nice.
Or 5 maybe.
Yeah, I see it. Nice.
Yeah, I made one on the box.
Oh,
yesterday.
the box. I saw it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, of course. Oh,
So
yeah,
if you're curious about the box, I should have made it 30 seconds longer, man. No, I'm kidding.
31 seconds. 32.
No, but thanks for joining. And next week I'll be a zombie, but you'll be carrying us. I will still be here.
Yeah.
We will have way more thoughts on the Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay, and of course, keep it locked to both of our channels for coverage. Check the live reactions. Ben, Random Aussie, as a moderator, has already been doing great work and sharing the Discord link, but also, of course, the link to the live tab where you can see all the live reactions we're gonna do. Maybe Shadow shows up before that. Otherwise, it will be on June 10th, and hope you will be watching with us. It's gonna be very, very good. I'll be going to LA. I'll be doing something. I cannot say what, but it's gonna be exciting. So keep it locked to the channel. Thanks for joining. It's been really, really nice. And this is a weekly show every Wednesday. Now on Thursday, usually Wednesday, we're live, and there will be a countdown timer up. So keep it locked for that. And then,
we will speak to you in the next stream.
Yes.
And